Welcome back to Study with Meow, the best place for students to get inspired. Want to make studying 3 times easier? Start with this tiny habit. Clip your papers together. Now that may sound silly, but stick with me. Here's why it works and how to do it. You see, when we study, our brains need 2 things: good habits and a clear mind. Without them, well, studying can feel like herding cats, if you know what I mean. But here's the secret. These 2 things, good habits and a clear mind, actually work together in a really cool way. Good habits free up our mental energy so we can focus on what matters most: understanding and retaining information. But what kind of good habits? Well, let's start with one that takes just 10 seconds, clipping papers together. But don't stop there. Keep watching. We've got more tips that will change your study game forever. So why should you, a hardworking student like you, start clipping papers together? It might seem like a small, even silly thing, but it has a big impact on your learning. And it all comes down to how your brain works, or more specifically, how easily it gets distracted. You see, our brains are naturally curious. As students, that's great because curiosity fuels our desire to learn. But it can also be a bit of a problem, especially when we're trying to focus on one specific task. Our wandering minds can lead us in a million different directions. And when it comes to studying, that's not always a good thing. Say you're trying to study for an upcoming exam. You've got all your materials ready to go: textbooks, notes, and yes, even those pesky papers you need to read. At first, everything seems fine. Start reading through your notes, reviewing key concepts, feeling pretty confident about your progress. Then suddenly, bam, your mind wanders. Maybe you remember a funny story from last week, and you find yourself chuckling at the memory. Or perhaps you re-struck by an insightful thought about the complexities of human nature, and you start daydreaming about its implications. Next thing you know, you've completely lost track of what you were studying. Time to refocus. Take a deep breath, push away the distracting thoughts, and dive back into your books. But it happens again. This time it's a sudden realization about a completely unrelated topic that captures your attention and pulls you away from your studies. It can be frustrating, and it makes studying feel like an uphill battle. So what's a student to do? Well, enter the simple yet effective technique: clipping papers together. By organizing your study materials, you create a clear path for your focus. Think of it as training your brain to stay on track. But how exactly does clipping papers together help with focus? Let's break it down. First, organization reduces distractions. When everything is neatly arranged and easy to find, you spend less time searching for materials and more time studying. Second, organization promotes clarity. By grouping related items together, you create mental space for your brain to process information more efficiently. Third, organization boosts productivity. A clutter-free workspace, both physical and mental, allows you to work more efficiently and accomplish more in less time. And finally, organization enhances retention. When information is presented in a structured manner, it becomes easier to remember and recall during exams. It's like building a highway for your brain. By eliminating mental roadblocks, you create a smooth pathway for ideas to flow and connections to form. It's a win-win situation. You stay focused and on track, while also making studying more efficient and effective. But how do you actually do it? Well, it's easier than you think. Let's walk through some practical examples step by step. Let's say you're a college student juggling multiple classes and assignments. Clipping papers together can be a game changer. Take, for example, preparing for an economics exam. Instead of having a pile of loose papers, notes, and handouts scattered across your desk, take a few moments to organize them. Group your study materials by topics such as supply and demand, elasticity, or market structures. You can use paper clips, binder clips, or even rubber bands to keep the papers for each topic together. Now, when you sit down to study, instead of feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of material, you have a neat set of organized packets ready to go. Each clip serves as a visual cue, helping you stay focused and reminding you of the specific topic you're studying. It's like having a personal study guide right at your fingertips. Next, let's look at preparing for a history exam. Imagine having to sift through countless pages of textbook chapters and lecture notes to find the information you need. It can be a daunting task, but clipping papers together can save the day. Once again, take a moment to review your materials and identify key topics and concepts. Then gather the relevant pages from your textbook, class notes, and any additional resources. Use clips to bundle the pages together, creating separate packets for each topic. For example, you might have a packet for the French Revolution, another for the Industrial Revolution, and a third for World War I this way. When it's time to study, you can quickly locate the information you need without wasting precious time searching for it. Now let's shift gears and explore how clipping papers together can benefit a science student, say biology. Studying the complex processes of the human body can involve a lot of diagrams, charts, and technical terms. To make sense of it all, take a moment to study your materials and identify key concepts and processes. Then gather the relevant pages from your textbook and class notes. Use clips to create separate packets for each topic, such as the circulatory system, the digestive system, or cell biology. By organizing your materials, you'll be able to focus on one topic at a time, making it easier to understand and retain the information. It's like having a personal study buddy that keeps everything in order. Finally, let's consider a student in an art class who wants to master the techniques of oil painting. Organizing their materials can be just as important as the actual painting process. Take a moment to identify key concepts and techniques such as color theory, brushwork, and composition. Gather reference materials, instructional videos, and any other relevant resources. Use clips to create packets for each topic, allowing you to focus on one aspect of oil painting at a time. This approach ensures that you have a structured and efficient way to learn and practice the techniques you need to succeed in your art class. By now, you're probably convinced of the power of clipping papers together. It's a simple yet highly effective technique to stay focused and boost productivity. Now let's talk about how you can implement this method in your own life. Consider the following questions. What are you currently studying? What topics or concepts do you need to focus on? What materials do you have available? This could include textbooks, lecture notes, or online resources. How can you group and organize these materials effectively? Once you've answered these questions, it's time to put your study skills into action. Gather your materials, read through them thoroughly, and use paper clips or any other suitable tools to clip together papers related to each topic. Create a separate stack or folder for each topic, ensuring that all the relevant pages are neatly bundled together. Take a moment to review your newly created study packets, checking that they are comprehensive and easy to navigate. Ensure that each packet contains all the necessary information and resources for the specific topic. If something is missing or unclear, take the time to add it to the appropriate packet. And now for the exciting part, putting your study system into practice. Start by selecting a topic or concept you want to study. Take the corresponding study packet and immerse yourself in the material. Read through the pages, highlighting important points and taking notes if necessary. As you study, you may come across additional resources or information that can enhance your understanding. Feel free to add them to the appropriate packet, keeping everything organized and readily available. We've shared numerous tips and tricks on improving study skills, but one habit stands out as a game changer: clipping papers together. It's a simple yet profoundly effective technique to stay focused and boost productivity. Remember, organization reduces distractions. Organization promotes clarity. Organization boosts productivity, and organization enhances retention. By implementing this technique, you transform studying from a daunting task into a streamlined journey of learning. If you found this advice helpful, please don't hesitate to share it with your fellow students. Together, you can create a supportive network where everyone thrives academically. And if you want more study tips, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We've got plenty more where that came from. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Study with Meow. Until next time, happy clipping and good luck with your studies.